like when the dude is talking to Denzel's character and talking about how you become so successful that now people are trying to take your success from you. The meta analysis of that is like the way that people react to these movies, right?
Hmm.
Like on the outside, like everybody's like, I'm tired of comic book movies, comic book fatigue, all this kind of stuff. But within the movies themselves, there's also this idea of Disney has now created and maintained for over a decade now a cinematic universe of all of these different characters, where now the character's history exists on film, all of it. And it makes it where, as an audience, you also remember all the stuff that the person did. So you're along for the ride with them. And it also makes it hard to, I think, like start over from the beginning. Because one thing they've never done in all this time, they never did a reboot. They might
Hmm.
have switched out some characters, but they've basically told you that one narrative, long form story going back to the first Iron Man movie. And it's interesting because, like, we talked about some of the movies, the trailers that you see when you in the movie theater. Like I'm watching that one for Superman. This is like, gosh, third or fourth like reboot of Superman, and in the middle of the trailer, it says like, coming in July 11th, it begins. And DC has the ability now to keep like starting over the same story. And whereas the Marvel universe is almost like, I would say in some cases burdened by the weight of all of this narrative now that's there that forms the idea of these certain characters that we listen to and we watch.
You know, I'd offer some pushback on that. I think
Let
there's
me hear
something
it.
to be said for continuity
Absolutely. I agree with that.
and
Yes. Yeah.
stability and structure. And I think that the fact that Marvel leans into that only provides individuals who cherish these movies and these characters all the more a very fervent audience. Um, and of course, sometimes it borderlines on being a zealot. I get that, but um, I guess that's what happens when you're very passionate about what it is
Yeah.
that you take a liking to. Um, I would say that it's one of Marvel's strengths, obviously, but the fact that you can say, "Hey, I can watch just the Captain America trilogy, if you will, and then this new trilogy that they're going to complete," um, and you know what? I don't have to necessarily watch everything else. I don't necessarily have to because these are complete stories. And by that I mean look at Steve Rogers.
Okay. This is all right. I got you.
His arc goes from being a very naive yet patriotic yet responsible individual in the first movie. And he sacrifices and it culminates in his sacrifice for the greater good. Stays true to who he is.
Hmm.
Second movie comes in, and now he has a little bit more experience because he's been awakened for some time now. He's catching up on what he missed, et cetera, and he makes new friends. Um, and then he comes to discover, hey, the 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 world that I thought I was about to be reintroduced into isn't necessarily what I was told. And to his credit, he didn't necessarily take it at face. I mean, excuse me, he didn't necessarily drink the Kool-Aid. He took it at face value and he discovered these things on his own. And then the third movie, he says, you know what? I don't have to ask for permission anymore. I'm not going to ask for permission. I'm
Yeah.
my own man and I am the people's champion, if you will, without saying it.
Hmm.
And at the same token, I understand that I'm a symbol and I can give way and I can give credence to others who also are like minded. Enter Sam Wilson. So Sam comes in and they give a segue where, you know what? Let's make this a series on Disney Plus
Disney Plus. Yeah.
and have him find his way, et cetera, et cetera. And then this movie comes out and now he's supposed to be fully entrenched as Captain America. And you see Demolition Man say to him, hey, check this out, man, Cap. Yeah, I get you. Without him saying, hey, we went through all these things together and I fully believe
Yeah.
in you because you
Yeah.
won my confidence. No, he just takes to him. And this is a guy who leads a SEAL team. And these are the SEAL team that is, basically canonized here in the United States with such admiration for their exploits as far as defending this country and being the best of the best.
Yeah.